Good evening, everyone. Channeled message. Do bear in mind that everything that I channel is for entertainment purposes only. Welcome back to the Third of Destiny. Please only take what resonates for you. If it does not, leave it for somebody that it will, okay? So let's jump into it, okay? In 2025, if you stole something from me, or you're hiding something from me because you think that I'm going to chase after it, please just keep it. That includes old boyfriends, lovers, items, money, houses that could have came to me. Just keep it. Just keep it, because the only reason why now that you want to give it back is because you know that I know about energy, like reciprocity, and how it all works. You know, when you're like, oh, I want to give this back to you, or I want to give this to you so I can plant this seed inside of you so you'll stick around and blah, 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 blah. How does it feel to know that I stuck you in an apartment that I was like manifesting for myself? Which, no, it's no big deal, but I stuck a few of you in an apartment that, like, that came from a script that I wrote energetically, and I didn't even mean to, but that's how much you were in my energy. It's like y'all all thought that I wanted that, and y'all ran for it. I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. I feel like little Lulu. If you remember that cartoon where she goes to the store, she's trying to return her dolly, and the manager, he's like all attentive, and then by the middle of it, he's frustrated because Lulu, she's like, no, that's not what I wanted. Floods the whole store, and then ends up wanting the dolly anyway, because he kept jumping to things that he thought that she would want. She'd play with it, she'd test it out, and then she'd be like, it's not what I wanted. Ends up flooding the store, leaving in a kayak or a canoe with the dolly anyways. So, to the person or persons thinking that they could jump to whatever they X, Y, and Z, thinking that because they think they know what I want, they're jumping there first. They're like, oh, here you go, or nana nana boo boo type shit. I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. And I'm just moving right along. Because the truth is, you never knew what I wanted. You never knew the steps that I took. You never knew the path. And when I try to show you, even at a distance, because apparently this telepathic bond's not going anywhere, but my ass will sit in a fucking canoe in the middle of the fucking ocean mentally, away from your ass for the rest of your existence. Because see, one day you're going to realize that I was the only one there for you. Even whenever physically I could not handle the narcissistic bullshit anymore. All the past interferences, we got to stop all the money coming her way, because if we do this, we'll lose her, and she's our lucky charm, but you didn't treat me good. You didn't treat me like I was doing anything for you. You wanted to sit here and have a reason to talk mad shit about me to other people by using somebody you paid to look like me, man. So it looked like you had the upper hand. And ain't nobody had the fucking balls to be like, hey, what really went down between you and such? Like, just be honest. Because the streets really want to fucking know. I ain't gonna bust you out on all your secrets. I'm not that type of person. But you didn't hesitate to tell all of mine, huh? The ones you thought you knew, huh? All that stuff that you saw was from a whole nother life. A whole different life, man. And every single time that I would get onto the path of like doing some type of root work or get help trying to get that far, like here you came trying to fucking do a Hail Mary and shit in my roots. No, don't fucking walk away from me. Every person who's a psychic, whether it be an African freaking practitioner from here to all the way to freaking Antarctica, knows what the hell you've done. How you tried to cross roots. How you tried to switch this. How, like, let me ask you one question. Did you get what you wanted? Did you get the Sarrazino bitch that you wanted because you thought she was just so royal? Good for you. They don't have royal blood, homeboy. They don't. Everything they've shown you about royal blood ties is something that belonged to me or a family relative of mine. They couldn't afford to pay for a DNA test like that. Out here flipping her fucking wig back and forth. And P.S. It's nobody's business to know what I'm into. The last time I checked, y'all didn't want to be a part of that journey whenever I was diagnosed with HIV. Now all of a sudden, because you get wind of some, I actually was able to access my spiritual vault without any of y'all around, and now all of a sudden y'all just want to kind of creep and shit just to see if I got it yet. Funny thing about them inheritances, you know that inheritance that somebody told you that I was supposed to get? That was supposed to happen in 1920. They killed me before I could get it. And then it got to a point where, and mind you, like I said, there are immortal beings, which I happen to be one, but do you know how long it takes to recover your shit from a gunshot wound to the head that caused fucking amnesia for centuries? That shit's been gone. I was in a coma for 20 years. I was a child. I was not 20 years old. I was a child. I was barely fucking, I hadn't even met my 18th birthday yet. That's a lie. All that shit that they have on the internet about my old life, that is a lie. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Including the person that looks like a certain person that's in my family right now, including her. It's a group of women that has done this for at least 200 years. Every single time I got close to remembering every single detail, they would have me kidnapped and all kinds of shit to where they would try to put me in a comatose. Every 20 years. I would be out in the world minding my own fucking business, doing my own fucking thing, not worrying about shit in the fucking world, and here they fucking come wanting to ruin shit for me. Every 20 years, man. Ooh, you slept with my boyfriends. So fucking what? They weren't worth fuck no way. Ooh, you stole from me. That's yours now. There's nothing that belongs to me that is attached to anything that you've stolen or anything that you've given. That includes drinks. That includes sheets. That includes fucking gabapentin pills that just all this shit now wants to appear. Now all of a sudden you got all the details and you want to roll till the wheels fall off. My thing about it is this: where were you when the wheels did fall off? I didn't see you picking up a tire tool metaphysically and helping me putting that bitch back on. I didn't see you help buying me groceries whenever I was out. Hell, y'all couldn't even pick up the fucking phone. Newsflash, there's no money. It's all gone. It's been gone for about 150 years now. They're full of shit. They're broke. They're broke as fuck. Out here having to do the same shit they were doing in the 19th century, selling pictures of children and shit on the sly. Trying to blame other people for doing it. Cover-ups and shit. Ain't shit changing. Just because I don't have TikTok anymore, ain't shit fucking changing. I'll go to YouTube and tell it all over again in the same format. Thinking that the government wouldn't catch the documents that you forged. You told me when I was younger that I couldn't cut it in the military. You didn't want me to cut it because you would get caught. You would be investigated. These people are international criminals. If that's what you're wanting to know, yes. Do you know why I am allegedly immortal? It's because they keep putting me in a fucking coma. Thinking that if they put me in a coma, they can control my abilities and my power. Because after being in a coma for so long, it does things to the fucking brain. And if they do it multiple times over, then it'll cause issues to where that person seems like they're not all there. Right? That's what y'all claimed, right? That I needed a caregiver, that I was incompetent multiple times to the point that the system took my children, and now I understand why. And I don't know how many times I've passed the psychological exam, a professional one at that, and a polygraph test. Wanting to blame me for y'all not getting approved for shit. Wanting to blame me for all this other shit, man. And you're just sitting here steadily waiting on bullshit that ain't showing up because it's gone. It's been fucking gone. This time around, they thought they'd be able to get me to harvest my fucking organs and it'd be over with. Can't harvest somebody with HIV's organs now, can you? They're useless, right? You want to know the truth? You want me to level with you tonight, Colton? They made it look like the whole mutation of, like, the immortal gene, the mutation of it looks so fucking godly. When in all factuality, it was so fucking barbaric. They kept injecting me with different diseases, like on some Brad Pitt shit on World War Z. While I was in a coma. To see if it would kill me. Like I was a whole science experiment, right? Apparently I got the Black Death twice in another life. Because apparently every single time they've put me in a coma, it counts as a life. They want me to create something new for them. mentally. They want me to create something new for them. I'm not going to do it. I'm sorry if it felt like for the ones that did care, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm sorry that on some of the things that I channeled on TikTok, that some of it I got mixed up, some of it I got wrong, and then some of it was just like, it wasn't mine, but I was channeling it anyways. Because it was a lot of these people have went through this, and they don't even remember it. I'm not the only one they've done this to. To the friends that along the way that you had to follow your integrity, but to the best of your ability, in order for you to do what was right by you, in order to keep you safe, I'm sorry that this happened and that it went on as far as it did, because none of you deserved it. This person, they're evil. They're evil. There's no other word to describe it. They're evil. You could not pay me enough to go back, though. As much as I miss some of y'all. As much as I miss some of you. Because I can't even see, like, there's no change at all. And it makes me sad. I'm like, God, you would think after 20 years, and the thing is because nobody would ever get caught doing any of this shit until now. That's a long-ass time for somebody to wait for justice, especially whenever they're time jumping in a coma. From multiple brain injuries, right? First it was the right temporal lobe, then it was the cerebellum. I was diagnosed with a glioma at age 8, and they said it was dizzy spells. They paid the hospital to make it look like it was less than what it actually was. Children's Hospital in Little Rock, right? And Wadley Hospital. Both paid to cover up a bicycle wreck that really was a fucking rape at 11 years old. The paperwork's not there because they were able to pay people and get rid of the paperwork. I've looked. I've checked. You know what's crazy is that the military even pulled the fucking medical records, and they knew then that it didn't add up. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that we're friends. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that you care about me. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that you love me, because you don't. You would use certain things such as cakes at my birthday, or my fake birthday anyways, and you would have the baker do spell work through the cake, right? Was it thoughtful, or was it the fact that you were keeping the spell work going? And so whenever actually people that did come along, that wanted to give me presents, that wanted to love me, that wanted to have me around, you ran them off. You made their life a living hell for wanting to be my friend. So if you're going through a situation and you are a friend of mine and you're having a really hard time obtaining employment, or you've just been like you've been going through some shit and you're homeless, or you can't, like, whatever the case may be, because you didn't cave to shit, to a wicked woman who had control over my life, or wicked women that had control over my life, that have been in a self-delusional state for 20 plus years. Thank you. Because that is just a piece of the cake that I've went through. Just a sliver. So trust me when I say you don't want to be me. You don't want to be in my energy, whether it's past, present, or future. Not right now. Now it's not a good time. The one person that acknowledged who I was. Probably threatened to, or just or this person has a knowing or a feeling. You know what's crazy is I always saved myself, or I always thought I saved myself. I have overcame a lot of things in my lives. Multiple assaults, multiple everything. I was raped in my uniform the very first time that I wore it, by someone who had my mentor framed for being a child trafficker, and he's dead. And he thought he was he was just so glorified, right, James? You were just so glorified in the killing that you projected. The person that trained me would have never hurt a fucking fly. That man could barely, no offense to him, rest his soul, that man could barely fucking do his job overseas. It made him sick every single time he had to kill somebody or aim his gun. He told me that. He thought he was going to be doing other things with the abilities that he had. And boy were we fucking wrong. You know what it feels, and I feel like this person, before they got framed and arrested, tried to come towards me. Do you know what it feels like to know that somebody that trained you in the military came looking for you, and this cult framed him for everything that they did, and it got him stabbed in prison? Right, in your home city, right? San Bernardino, right? They used to call him the Jolly Green Giant, because he was a tall-ass motherfucker. And I was like, he kind of resembled the Jolly Green Giant. So that was my nickname for him, if you must know. Bunch of fucking AWOLies. had to switch names and genders just to be in the military. Ain't that fucking sad? You get kicked out, discharged, and then you're like, oh, I got a grand idea. I'm going to change my gender and go back in. No one will ever know. Respectfully to the transgender community, because I do fully support the fact that people, regardless of gender, disease, etc., should, if they want to serve our nation with a positive mindset and intentions, they should be able to serve. But whenever you do shit like this, you should definitely be kicked out. I can't agree with that even more. Like there wouldn't come a day, there wouldn't come a fucking political campaign that wouldn't fucking wipe the fucking nose of y'all so quick. Y'all been doing lines of shit so big. Well, if we make a video of it, and it will be convincing enough, right? Well, if we let everybody know that our audit was safe, that we'll be all right, right? Our noses will be safe. We won't lose our jobs, and we won't get demoted. None of that shit. I feel like, honestly, at this point, because of the shit that they did, they should be fucking discharged dishonorably. You can find somebody else to fill that position that does a 10-time better job. And you wouldn't have to worry about looking over your shoulder to see if that person's doing shit illegal or not. It's not hard to fire somebody and then let somebody rank up that deserves the shit. It all makes sense. The fucking binder that came from Russia with the bomb squad. Right? Maria. Incarnated Serzina Alexandria of Russia. Or should I say assassin. Who was too busy to worry about framing my ass. Come to find out, they've been putting me in comas. That's why there's a memory gap. Or hell, let's even get a little bit more barbaric, shall we? Let's even touch base on the fact that there's a possibility that I'm a clone. And the original me is buried like on some Rick and Morty shit. Right? Y'all figured out how to do quantum consciousness shifts, right? Where you exchange, like where you take somebody else's you take your consciousness quantumly and you transfer it, right? Y'all figured out how to do that on the slide. It's been a groundbreaking thing for a couple of years now. Been doing it a lot longer though, right? Illegally, without FDA testing, because, it's overseas being done in the dark. Right? That's what they do with all our DNA when we submit it, when we have DNA tests. When we pay for Ancestry and 23andMe, right? Or hell, let's even go further. All them fucking all them bones that they dug up, when they found the Romanovs. What'd they do? Take bone marrow and fucking put it in a clone vat? Come on, I'm crazy. Remember, let's get crazy with it, right? That shit ain't real. Every fucking nerd that follows fandom knows for a fact that everything that they say is fake is actually real. Let's be honest. Except for the background story of everything is actually more horrific than it actually fucking seems. Y'all just tried to make it all a sparkly shit pile. A rotting one at that. Everybody's worried about fucking Elon. And I'm like, y'all look like. No offense to Elon Musk, because I really don't know him, but you know what I'm saying? I've heard of his technology and all of that stuff with the Neuralink. Do you know that I remember going through the military that it was like a discovery to do it, but it wasn't ready to be tested yet? Do you know somebody illegally, other outside of Elon? Did you know somebody illegally got a hold of that technology and tried to use it illegally before he ever came out with it? Right, Snowden, who was working with this Maria, aka Alexandria person. Right, it hypothetically from it's like Barry and Katya from fucking Archer, Bionic Barry. But I feel like they might have found him. I feel like they might have actually found him with Elon as a special uh, consultant for the government for free. I feel like they're like, y'all, it ain't even fucking March yet. I cannot wait to see what happens next. And here's the thing, I didn't vote for that side. I'm not even gonna lie. Which is cool because like I was never really political anyways, but I was told like Spirit Guys was like, hey, go vote. We need you to vote for this side. I was like, okay, okay. Out here trying to regulate everything. I'm just. Oh man. And it's crazy because this happened around when Plato and Socrates, and Thrasmarchus in the Republic, you know, the play that's written by Plato. I find it funny though. Because they really tried really hard to frame somebody that trained me. He even played. I think he played dead. We both played dead. Oh, with the stick-on tattoos that he had on like his neck and his arms. I was like, you couldn't have put those anywhere else. I was like, next time just get like a fucking teardrop on your face too. You know, make it look legit. God, I'm like, man, it was seeing you last summer at that Jeep meeting. I was like, God damn, he's tall. I'm like, there ain't no way in hell a grown ass man keeps growing, but I don't remember you being that tall. Jolly, I really don't. I bet you didn't remember me being so short now either, huh? Like, God, you really let them think they'd won, huh? That we just lay down and take it. For a few of us, that we would just lay down and take it. Like good little boys and girls, in the words of the Joker. And the thing is like you could have snapped like the Joker, and you didn't. I mean, you did in your own way, but it was self-defense. All of it, every bit of this was self-defense. Not once have we went on the offense yet, because if we did, your cake spells won't work no more. Your alcohol spells won't work no more. And there's too many fucking eyes and boots inbound for y'all to even make a fucking move. But please be my guest and make a move. I'm talking about there's a few different people from every branch waiting to see what the hell pops off. Waiting to see, and just to see if what I said is true. Anyway, just thought I'd say a few things like that tonight. That was what was on my mind. I'm glad you're on your feet. I'm glad you're living life as best as you can anyways. All I do have to say is thank you for those of you that believed me to the very end of this shit. Because that's all I needed. I needed somebody to believe that what I was saying was true, as crazy as it was. Because I was trying to keep my kids from experiencing anything. Could you imagine being almost 100 plus years old, not realizing that you are probably immortal at like what you think is age 21? You have 2 kids, but really in all factuality you're supposed to be like 100, 150, 200 years old. Maybe older, probably about 3. And boy, they waited for me to have kids, man. They did. Y'all waited. Like fucking vultures, you waited. Because hell, you tried to manipulate babies. Apparently I've had a few miscarriages that I don't remember. In another life, though, so to speak. Right